Hi everyone, this is Marianne here from Revealing Light Tarot, Astrology and Spirituality. Thank you all for joining me today wherever you are in the world. A huge hello to you. Thank you all for your support of the channel and also for your very kind and generous donations. Every one of them is appreciated. Okay, let's get started. We've got a lot to get through today, from Putin's nuclear threats through to Mike Moore. I guess he's a celebrity type person, makes documentaries, correctly predicted the swing to Trump in 2016, has basically come out and said in 2022 midterms, the Democrats, independents and Republicans who are tired of the extremism will literally wipe the floor and show the MAGA Trump extremists, show them the door. We'll test that theory. Also, lots coming out about the stolen classified documents, alleged stolen classified documents. And we'll take a look at that. The DOJ is now hinting in its briefs that Trump may have copied those documents. I mean, it's pretty much obvious, isn't it? Pretty much obvious to us. Of course he did. But anyway, we'll throw some cards on that. Also, I want to just do a little bit of probing. Does the DOJ have evidence that Trump has actually sold or given those copies or documents to overseas, to other nations? So we'll just try that. I've got a few more questions up my sleeve, but we'll see how we're going for time. Speaking of time, I felt it was time to pull a couple of oracle cards. I just felt that we probably need some overarching kind of messages from Spirit. Let's have a look at what Spirit might give us for today as an overarching message or messages. What are your overarching messages, please? So we have here creation, Beaver Moon, creation. Okay, so that's the clairvoyant image that I saw in my mind, a sun over our third eye, over our intuition. Illumination was what I got, and it was new. It's not something we've done before. This is a new kind of, I guess people would say timeline, if you want to use that word. I prefer to say that it's more of a new way of perceiving, and that is through our intuition, through our third eye, through our inner knowing. It's becoming almost, I would say, activated. It's coming online. Why is it coming online? Because the change and often the tragedy and the travesties and the trauma that the last couple of years have brought, whether that's a death of a loved one from the pandemic, whether that is a country in turmoil, whether that is security upended, whether that's financial downturn. We've had to perceive things in 2022 in a new way, more intuitively, to be illuminated. And, if you want to get to the truth, you keep following that pathway because it will bring you to the truth every single time. Okay, now we have boundaries, and that's also something that we're learning, that we need to have boundaries, that we maybe took the guardrails away in our complacency. Now, whatever aspect of your life that applies to, and we're having to re-establish. So this is kind of in a way, if you want to use the word logical, a logical response to what we're going through. And we have peace, if we want peace. So creation of a more authentic way to perceive, to put not only to reinstall boundaries, but new boundaries, new guardrails, and we've got peace. So again, this optimistic feeling that I have, that in the wash, after the travesty, after the tragedy, after the invasions, we will have peace, and we have beginnings. I'm glad I pulled these. I got a kind of intuitive hit to pull these for you today. Okay, so lovely messages there coming from Spirit. All right, let's move to our questions. I'm going to go, I do have the Everyday Witches Tarot in keeping with the month of October, but I do also have Cairo Marchetti's Legends Tarot, and so I'm going to pull the first couple of questions from that. Okay, so let's look at Putin's tactical nuclear strike. Biden, President of the US, came out and said, well, this is sort of like we're facing Armageddon. He's kind of walked that back. I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't think that Biden makes those sort of gaffes. I think they're actually there. They're on purpose. Okay, so, and yes, he is thinking about taking some actions against the Saudis, and so he should, because they betrayed him. They didn't honour a deal. When I say a deal, an agreement, when he went to see them. And they've instead literally stabbed him in the back. But why would anyone be surprised about that? So I hope that the US takes appropriate action against the Saudis in many ways. Okay, so Putin and his tactical nuclear strike. Let's see if we can't tune in. Putin, what are you doing? Okay, Vladimir Putin. Are you thinking about a tactical nuclear strike? You know, the image that I'm getting, because I'm getting a violinist of all things, and I think that's related to the culture of Ukraine. They produce some beautiful classical dancers and musicians. I feel that it might more be a gas, because I saw that musician surrounded by gas. So if not nuclear, then some kind of other weaponry. Let's take a look at the cards. First of all, is Putin thinking about a nuclear strike? Is Putin thinking about, oh yeah, it's like he's trying to stop the music. That's the phrase I'm getting. So we have the Five of Cups. So this is loss. He is losing. Regret. Dwelling on what has been lost. That's where Putin is. And we have the Eight of Cups, loss again. So it's just all-round loss for Russia. And I do feel, and I want to say this as a prediction, I feel it will be a long time before Russia is seen as anything other than a pariah state. They won't be welcomed anywhere long after Putin's gone. It will take a new generation to remake Russia and re-establish ties with the West. That is the magnitude of what Putin has done. Loss and loss. So we have here the King of Cups. Now this is Biden, and I started this reading by saying I didn't think Biden makes these kind of mistakes. So he is sending warnings all the time to Putin. I have to say Putin fears, and it's annihilation is what he fears. The King of Cups. This is emotion. He's not thinking logically at all, if he ever did. Now we have the Four of Swords, loss, retreat, wounded in battle. It's just all loss there for Putin, all loss. And so I can't see that there's any way that he stays in power. Now we have the Hermit card. So far I'm not seeing that he would do this. The Hermit card is isolation. Again, you know, anyway, go to the experts. They're saying exactly the same thing. Now we have the World card in the immediate future, endings and beginnings. It's the end of a cycle. We have here the Six of Wands in the here and now. He thinks he has victory in striking back the civilian populations. He actually likes the Page of Cups. He likes that we do not know what is coming. That's the environment around. He wants this element of surprise. Now we have here the Three of Cups in the hopes and fears. Will he be supported? So has he got support for what he intends to do? We have the Knight of Coins. So this is a reliability, a sustainability, and it is clarified by the Moon card. He's not. That's like that was also the card of madness. So we shouldn't expect reliability from him. He is liable to do something completely out of left field. And the Nine of Wands, again that guardrail. How did we let someone like Putin go untethered for so long? And Germany now is on the front foot and providing superior air defense missiles to or systems to Ukraine. Even Germany is done with Putin. Terror. He's very isolated. So he's unreliable. Will he launch a tactical? Not necessarily. I'm not seeing that. So I want to chase down justice. Yeah, the guardrails, justice. In my last reading, thank you for the feedback. I said you have to understand karmic justice to understand why both Putin and Trump will be brought to justice, because the guardrails have to be put back there. The guardrails have to be put back. And I think what is coming, and why I want to read on Mike Moore's prophecy, so to speak, is the guardrails are coming. The guardrails are coming. So the King of Wands, courage, stepping forward, the Wheel, things changing, and the Ten of Cups, families. So I'm not seeing an imminent tactical nuclear strike, but with that Moon card there, clarifying the Knight of Cups, I think, he's unreliable. You wouldn't put anything past him. Now, I want to go to that. So the short answer is no, I don't see it. The Moon card worries me. It's instability. Okay, we also have karmic justice operating here. Let's go to the gas. Would he be so stupid as to strike with a gas bomb, some kind of gas weapon? The Chariot, perhaps that's what we're looking at, but that's quick movement forward. Will Putin strike with some kind of gas weapon? God, it'd be horrifying if he did. So we have here the Page of Coins, not widespread, perhaps, maybe tactical. The High Priestess, something we don't know about, something being hidden from our view. What's going on here? The Two of Cups, contracts, commitments, relationships and partnerships are featured here. The Chariot card is worrying. It may be that I understand Belarus is mobilizing. I'm pretty sure the Belarusians do not want to fight the Ukrainians. But anyway, Knight of Cups, he made an offer to someone. What is this? There's some sort of deal he made with somebody in relation to this question. The Ten of Swords, complete and utter downfall and ruination, is crowning this reading. The Ten of Cups, families in the immediate futures, families, unconditional love. Here's our Knight of Coins here, again, and surrounded by the Moon. Now, I did shuffle quite well, so there's no accidents here. These came up in response to the question, would he use some kind of tactical gas weapon? And we have the Page of Cups in the hopes and fears. We know he's unreliable. He wants victory at all costs. And while he won't get a victory this way, in his own mind, he sees that as a victory. And we've got the Tower card. I think at this stage, and the Eight of Swords, restriction, paranoia, and the Ten of Wands, it's the end for Putin. But he see this. I think this, if he does this, it's not widespread. He's made some kind of deal with someone. Are there spies inside Ukraine? Are there Russian sympathizers that would set or detonate these kinds of weapons? I think that's where I'm going with this. And we've got loss. This is kind of like the last thing he does. It's sort of inevitable, something coming to fruition in time. What is that, though? He's not going to be president of Russia in the longer term. Something in the past, and the Three of Coins, yeah, and the Empress. I think it's more likely that they've had this kind of weapon, developed this kind of weapon, and they will do something with it. It's not, because I got that Page of Coins, I don't think it is widespread, but there's some kind of deal or partnership in relation to this question that he's made. So very worrying, a worrying time for Ukraine. And I wonder if he did something like this, whether it would be time. I've always seen the UN forces going into Ukraine. They did establish a corridor to get the fighters out of Mariupol. I always thought it was something greater than that. Does he do this that shocks the world to such an extent that they send peacekeeping forces in there? All right. Let's wait and see on that one. I do want to caution people that I may be right, I may be wrong. For those in Ukraine that are watching this, what they could do, are doing. I'm pretty sure they are. Of course, looking particularly at any Russian sympathizers within their country. All right, so let's take a look at Trump, the US, Putin asset plant, the Putin plant, Trump. Oh, God. Through the Everyday Witches Tarot, let's take a look. Now, there are documents missing, a lot of documents missing. We've had stories saying he did actually take these as leverage and blackmail. He also wanted the Mueller documents, so he obviously was very concerned about being charged post-presidency. So let's take a look. Did Trump copy these documents? Yes or no? Did Trump copy these documents? He's feeling very cornered. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. It will always be the King of Pentacles. And we've got the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so it looks like movement forward, throwing the coins in the air, multiple pathways. It's how the businessman would act or react. We've got the Star card as the foundation of the reading. I think we all know, don't we? We all know that if nothing else catches up with Trump, this will. It is absolutely concrete, ironclad that he will go down for stealing these documents. The Knight of Cups, an offer to someone. Of course, he wouldn't have done it himself. I think he got someone else to do it. The Hierophant card is the government that's crowning this reading. And we've got the High Priestess in the immediate future. You can watch for more of this to come out. The Ace of Pentacles, it's all down to money here, and the Ten of Pentacles. My next question was, did he sell these? I think he did. And we've got the Six of Cups in the hopes and fears. He feared what? He feared his past catching up with him. Again, this was leverage. And Partisanship is the outcome. The Five of Wands. This is competitiveness, fighting. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is some kind of plan or strategy for stability. And we've got the Three of Wands. Okay, so again, overseas influences. The King of Cups, Biden, is at the base of the pack. The Queen of Pentacles is my card for national security. And the Knight of Swords, the Truth. So, I mean, I'll get a clarifier on that 5. But there's also, I mean, it's so sinister, but there's also, one of the reasons he did this was to see how far he could take it. Oh, dear. I mean, he really should be in jail right now, shouldn't he? Anyone else would. Show me this Five of Wands. Partisanship, planning, working with others. Chariot, yes. It's a yes card. Chariot, quick movement. What's going on here? Did he copy these documents? Because the Pentacles, the Lovers. I had 3 questions, and now I don't need to ask any more. Copy, sell, give them to overseas nations. And illusion and delusion. We can add a 4th here. If he knew that his goose was cooked when he left the presidency, he was going to cause as much trouble as what he could. I don't know why he thinks it's going to go any other way than with his loss. And he's got and retreat and potentially ill health. The Star card being at the foundation of the reading gives me hope that, he will go to some kind of facility. He will be indicted. He will be found guilty. And the US will eventually move on from Trump. Now, speaking of that, you say, okay, but there's so many left like him. Let me tell you that in Australia, we had a former Prime Minister that was awarded a medal from Donald Trump, remember? He made several visits. He was feted at the White House and he was awarded some kind of ridiculous medal. It was one of your high honour medals. He did some terrible things while he was in government in Australia. And when it came to the election, we saw the rise of extremism. We saw that what the fruits were of that extremism, and we overwhelmingly voted him out, and literally all his party was decimated. Now, I like to think that that's what we're seeing going to occur in areas of the UK that you would be surprised about. I said months ago something special was happening in Ohio, and we have Tim Ryan making extremism a feature of his campaign, and really he's ahead of the Trump candidate JD Vance. If you haven't watched excerpts of that debate between JD Vance and Tim Ryan, you should. I think something special, I said before 2020, something special was happening in Georgia. And I do believe something special is going to happen again. I actually do believe that Stacey Abrams will be able to beat Kemp. All right. And there's a lot else happening. A lot happening. Let's test it. Michael Moore's prophecy, if you want to put it like that the Democrats will completely cast out this extremism, that there will be a backlash in the midterms against the extremism, and remove these extremists from office and send a strong message to the Republican Party that it will be decimated if it does not reform and expel the extremists. So let's see. Will we see in the midterms a backlash against the extremism as Michael Moore has predicted? Will we see a backlash against extremism that Michael Moore has predicted in the midterms? Generally speaking, areas of surprise. So people are reviewing. I think the Republicans, they do internal polling. They know this. The Queen of Pentacles. Okay. National security. People do not feel secure in the US. I'm talking the majority. I'm not talking the MAGAs. I'm talking the majority of people do not feel secure in the US right now. What they took for granted before, they're having to reassess. The Emperor, control, is at the foundation of the reading. Who is in control? Or control, or lack of it. The Four of Wands in the past, this is families, happiness, joy, but it's in the past. It's like Tim Ryan in that debate's, a great line. I represent the Democrats, the Independents, the Republicans who are tired of this extremism, who want their lives back, who want their security back. The Nine of Swords, so much anxiety. So you can see why Michael Moore joined the dots. He's very good at that because he senses the anxiety, the fear that the country's not secure anymore. We've got endings here, Death card. Endings. Ten of Swords, ruination. Complete and utter downfall. This is what I want to see. The High Priestess, things that we don't know about, energies we can't perceive, something being revealed. Look at what's happening in the present and you can see why he said what he said. The Eight of Wands in the hopes and fears, speed, quickness, messages coming through. Events moving very quickly. The outcome card is the Knight of Cups. This is an offer being made. This is allegiance changing. Ten of Cups, the family. They want peace. They are anxious about their security. And the Fool card, the new beginning. I have to say that Michael Moore, I wouldn't go so far as to blanket that, but I think he's largely correct. And I think the big surprises will be in some red areas that we're not expecting. I want to show you these outcome cards so you're quite clear that I am interpreting. There's a lot of anxiety around at this time. The Knight of Cups, an offer of something, an offer for the family. This is emotions and this is a new start. These are all yes cards. So people want this new start. At the base of the pack, they feel defending, that they have to vote to defend their democracy. Six of Wands, victory. Victory for those defenders, feeling like they've been left out. Loss, money loss, and the Chariot moving very, very quickly. Which way? This way or that way does the Chariot go? And the Nine of Wands, of course, is the guardrail. So there's a lot of regret and loss and emotion. There's an offer to come back to security, to normality. That's what is on offer at the midterms, a new start. So watch for those areas that are surprises that you may watch for the really extreme races, and you will see so what you would think of as miracles occurring. They don't want this extremism any more than Australia wanted the extremism. It's laughable, really. All things pass. And the era of extremism, once we saw what it reaped, we don't want it. We're making good choices. All right. On that, let's just look at Arizona. Katie Hobbs and Kari Lake Kari Lake pictured vacuuming the red carpet for Trump. I think she was an Obama fan. You know, people see an opportunity for a big grift, and they go all in and they give away their values and fool themselves that what they're doing is okay. All right, Kari Lake and Katie Hobbs in Arizona. Well, Katie Hobbs she is the Democrat, Kari Lake the Republican. Will Katie Hobbs in the governor's race for Arizona? Will Katie Hobbs win? Will common sense prevail? Will Katie Hobbs win? Of course, Kari Lake is an election denier. Will Katie Hobbs win? Show me clearly, please. It's sort of half and half. It's going to be very close. Four of Pentacles. There's a lot of insecurity here. There's a lot of fear in parts of Arizona, and they're sitting on something. Election results. There's going to be a lot of that in the midterms, having to wait for results as it makes the way, recounts making the way through the courts. The Moon card, yeah, some pretty unsettled energies in Arizona at this time. That is one of the places where the fake electors came from. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, again, this stability, national security, wanting national security, wanting security, stability and security. Seven of Cups, illusion and delusion, but guess what? This is in the past position. You know, this is also about, as someone said to me the other day, good and bad choices. This is in the past, though. In the sky, we have the Nine of Cups, wish fulfillment. I like the energies moving through here, and the World, endings and new beginnings. It's kind of a joyful card, isn't it? Here and now, the Six of Pentacles, giving and receiving help. Those in Arizona are also worried about the threats from the GOP to remove Social Security. And we've got the Chariot card. There's huge choices. This is going to be big. The midterms is going to be big. The Eight of Cups in the hopes and fears, walking away from what no longer serves us. And the Ten of Wands. This is like it's like the end of a cycle, but it's a hard uphill battle for Katie to win. But we do have moderation. So I like that the first major arcana out is moderation and temperance. She is seen as a more stable candidate, but it's not an easy win for her at all. And we've got the King of Pentacles, further clarifying that moderation card. And the Three of Wands. This is sort of almost like conjuring up something. I'm going to go with a clarifier. Five of Cups and the Magician, and the Five of Pentacles. There's a lot of issues around inflation, cost of living in Arizona. I don't know the demographics of it, whether it's a state where there's a lot of poverty. I think it's ranching, isn't it? Agriculture in Arizona. But let's take a look at this Ten of Wands. It's like the ending of a cycle. Now we have moderation here. Show me this. There's some sort of wish fulfillment here, but it's a hard one for her to win. Show me this Ten of Wands. Is this a yes for Katie? Because I'm getting a no and then a yes. So that could be the way it plays out. A no and then a yes. Show me this Ten of Wands. Yeah, Knight of Cups. That's nice. She's going to get a lot of voters. The Lovers. A lot of, I was going to say voters, perhaps ex-Trump voters. The big lie. Election denial and inevitability. There's going to be, the results will be questioned. There will be huge battles in Arizona. I'm just going to say that. I do believe that she eventually does prevail. because she's going to get, moving out of troubled waters, she's going to get some kind of vote. There's the Four of Pentacles again, and that Seven of Pentacles. She's going to get some kind of vote from never Trumpians, from those in Arizona that want to see security and stability. So the results will initially look like she didn't, and then she does. And I think people will vote for moderation because they're worried about their security. That's where I come out on that. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll be back again soon. Bye for now.